Round after round, he was getting punished. His opponent was younger, faster, stronger. Every punch landed like thunder, a deafening crack that echoed through the arena and settled deep in his bones. The air was thick with the smell of sweat, blood, and the collective pity of thousands. People in the crowd started looking away, wincing with each blow, unable to watch the systematic dismantling of a man. Even his corner, the voices that had guided him his entire career, were now pleading with him to quit. They saw the swelling, the cuts, the vacant look in his eyes. They saw a fighter at the end of his rope, and they just wanted the punishment to stop. They shouted, "That's it, champ, we're calling it, it's over." But he just shook his head, a slow, defiant motion. He wasn't done. Not yet. Then, in the 7th round, something strange happened. Something shifted in the atmosphere of the fight. After another heavy hit, a brutal right hook that snapped his head back and sent a spray of sweat across the canvas, he stumbled. For a moment it looked like this was it, the final blow, but instead of falling, he looked up at his opponent and smiled. It wasn't a smile of madness or delusion. It was a smile of pure, unadulterated acceptance. In that single, transformative moment, he let go of the fear. The fear of pain, the fear of losing, the fear of humiliation, it all just evaporated. The moment he stopped fearing the hurt, he became something else entirely. He became unstoppable. He started walking forward, a relentless, almost ghostly presence. He absorbed punch after punch, not even flinching. It was as if the blows were passing right through him. His opponent, who had been so confident, so dominant just moments before, started backing up. A flicker of confusion, then concern, then outright fear appeared in his eyes. He was hitting a man who simply refused to feel pain. Every jab the younger fighter threw now felt hesitant. Every cross seemed to lose its power mid-flight. He was fighting a ghost, a legend being born in real time. He was throwing everything he had, and the man just kept coming, that serene, terrifying smile still on his face. For our hero, every step forward was a reclamation. Every punch he threw in return, though slower and less technically perfect, carried an impossible weight. His jabs weren't just jabs, they were punctuations in a story of resilience. His crosses weren't just for points, they carried history. Every heartbreak he'd ever endured, every lonely morning run, every ounce of hunger that had driven him from the very beginning. The canvas became his confessional, the ropes his sanctuary. He was no longer just fighting for a title belt or a prize purse. He was fighting for his very soul. By the 10th round, the dynamic of the fight had completely reversed. He wasn't just fighting another man anymore. With every breath, every strained muscle, he was fighting every single doubt he'd ever had. He was fighting the voices that told him he was too old, too slow, not good enough. He was fighting the memory of past failures and the specter of a future without glory. His opponent was now the one on the defensive, exhausted, bewildered, and mentally broken by the man who would not, could not, be broken. The younger fighter looked at his corner with pleading eyes, searching for an answer they didn't have. How do you beat a man who has already embraced defeat? How do you knock out a spirit that has already died and been reborn in the same night? When the final bell rang, its chime cutting through the electric tension, he didn't win by knockout. There was no dramatic, cinematic fall. There was just the quiet, profound finality of the bell. He won by heart. He won by standing when every law of physics and biology said he should have fallen. The judges' scorecards were just a formality, a confirmation of what everyone in that arena already knew in their souls. And the crowd, they didn't just cheer for a victory. They roared. It was a primal, thunderous ovation, not for a winner, but for the indomitable spirit of a man who refused to break. They cheered for the smile in the 7th round. They cheered for the fighter who taught them that true strength isn't about how hard you can hit, but about how much you can take and keep moving forward. This story isn't just about boxing. It's about every single one of us. We all face opponents in life, setbacks, challenges, our own inner demons. We all get hit. And sometimes we get hit so hard we think we can't get back up. The world might tell you to quit. Your own mind might tell you it's over. But what happens when you decide to smile in the face of that pain? What happens when you accept the struggle and stop fearing the fall? You become unstoppable. You find a strength you never knew you had. You realize that your greatest victories aren't the ones that come easy, but the ones you earn through sheer unyielding heart. So next time you're in your own 7th round, when you're taking the hits and feel like giving up, remember this, fighter. Look up, smile, and take another step forward. That's how you win the fights that truly matter. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Keep fighting your fight.